On his first day as a caregiver, this guy poured boiling water on a patient's legs just to test if they had any feeling. When he saw a pretty girl, he'd zone out, shoveling food right at the patient's eye. He'd shave the patient's beard into all kinds of ridiculous styles like this, and this. But instead of firing him, the patient actually took a shine to him. The patient was a billionaire, left a quadriplegic after a skydiving accident. He couldn't move a muscle except his head. He'd wanted a caregiver, and tons of top medical pros applied, but the billionaire shot them all down. For some reason, he picked the street boy. Truth is, the young guy didn't know the first thing about caregiving. He'd only come to the interview to get a termination letter so he could collect welfare. But the billionaire offered him a month's trial with crazy good pay, told him to think it over. The next day, the young guy showed up to get that termination letter, but the butler gave him the grand tour of the mansion, ending with a peek at his own room. When he saw the bathroom, dude thought, this is what God lives like. So he decided to stick around. But man, was he a disaster. Slept through the care training. When he tried lifting the billionaire into the wheelchair, he almost dropped him on his face. Used foot cream to wash his hair in the shower. Refused to help with the guy's bowel movements. And yet, the billionaire didn't care one bit. Cause what he hated most was people treating him like a helpless invalid. The young guy's laid-back vibe made him feel normal finally. The young guy refused to stuff the billionaire into the trunk of a car, said it was disrespectful as hell. So they cruised around in the billionaire's sports car. And the guy got that rush he hadn't felt in ages. Like, remember how the neighbor's car had been parked in his driveway forever? The young guy fixed that little problem in under a minute. Slowly, the billionaire realized the young guy wasn't just some rough around the edges brute. One late night, the billionaire started struggling to breathe. The young guy sprinted over, pressed a cool towel to his forehead, talked him through controlling his breathing, stayed with him till he drifted off. Even after he calmed down, the young guy stuck around, keeping watch. When the breathing trouble flared up again, he hoisted the guy into the wheelchair without hesitation, and they wandered along the river as the water glistened in the dark. The fresh 4 a.m. air hit different, felt good. That's when it clicked. This young guy had heart. And he paid attention. When the billionaire started feeling lousy, the young guy whipped out a cigarette and let him take a drag, gave him that sweet, familiar buzz he hadn't had in forever. Other caregivers? They wouldn't even let him smell smoke. That night, they stayed up talking for hours. The young guy cracked jokes at the billionaire's expense, lightening the mood, and the guy finally let his guard down, pouring out his pain. It wasn't just the paralysis keeping him stuck, it was losing his wife, forever. The young guy finally got why the guy carried so much weight. By the end, they weren't just boss and employee, they were real friends. The billionaire grinned and said, "You passed the trial."